Hello YouTube, Raul here. In today's video we're gonna continue the Tailwind CSS course by looking at paddings and margins. I have a new file created here called paddingmargins.html. You will find the code for all the videos in the series in the GitHub repository linked below. Also, you can find the previous videos in the playlist that's also gonna be in the description and at the top right corner here in a card. Now let's get started. If you want to add padding all around your HTML element, you can add a p- class, and after this you have to give it a value. So if you give it a value 2, it will add a padding of 0.25 rem units. Now that didn't change it too much, so let's make that bigger. Let's do p16 and it will add a lot of padding to it. Next, you might want to add just 1 pixel of padding. For that you can do p-px and this will add just 1 padding. Then we might want to add some padding only on the vertical or horizontal axis. So for that we have p, and then for the vertical axis we can do y. And also let's do 8 here on the third tag, and this will add the vertical padding. And maybe we want a different horizontal padding, so let's do px of 32, and this will add a big padding on the horizontal axis. Next, let's change the second div because padding of 1 pixel doesn't do much. And here we're gonna add padding on each individual axis. So we can do a padding right of 12, then we can do a padding left of 32, maybe a padding top of 18, and then a padding bottom of also 12. So we have PR, PL, PT, and PB for each of these paddings. And this way we can add individual paddings for each axis. Now for margins, this goes the same way. So let me copy these 3, paste them back, and comment out the first ones. If I save, no behavior should change, but I can change the margin. So from P, I change it to M16. And we will have the same behavior, but now we have a margin here. Let me also remove these other ones. So now we have a margin of 16. We can also do for margins everything that we did before. So we can have margin on the horizontal axis. We can do mx12. Then we can do margin on the vertical axis, my32. We can also just do each individual margin. So after this we can do MB of 64, just modify the bottom margin. But for margins we can also do negative ones. So if we want to do on this third div, let's do a dash, then M, and let's do 16. So it will do a margin of negative 16 and it will move it top and somehow out of the screen. Okay, so this is it for margins and paddings, but we can also do some interesting spaces between the elements of a div. So let me show you how that works. I'm gonna also comment these out. And let's do a div. Inside we'll have a div called with text1. I'm gonna copy this a few times. So 2, 2, 3, and 4. And on the parent div, let's add a class and we'll add space y, because this is gonna be for the horizontal axis. You can do this for both the horizontal and the vertical, or for both the axes. Just remove or add the dash y or x. And here let's add 16. This way it won't add a padding at the top or at the bottom. So let me show you that at the bottom we don't have anything. I'm just gonna add a text 5. But between the elements of that containing div, it will add that padding that we specified right here. This is something that is not that easy to do in CSS. You have to style the first element, the last element, and all the children elements separately to achieve this kind of spacing. Tailwind gives it to you out of the box. This was it for the margins and paddings tutorial for Tailwind CSS. In the next video we're gonna look at background colors, background images, and gradients. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you don't miss it. Also, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it and leave me a comment. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.